everyone, my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara's Never Seen, and today I'm watching Blues Brothers 2000. I was in the Nostalgia Critic review of Blues Brothers 2000. I've not seen the film though, and I've heard the worst things about it. I'm gonna be very honest with everyone right now, and I'm prepared for a lot of harsh backlash. I didn't love the original Blues Brothers. I really loved the music in it, and I appreciated it, and I mean, I love the actors in it, and the cameos were great, but overall, I found it to be kind of boring. I'm going in like open-minded, like I hope I really enjoy it, I hope like the music is redeeming, I hope it has a funny story, but I don't have high hopes for it. R.I.P. Tamara's Never Seen. I can't go on. Lord, help me. It was so bad. No. Well, that was one of the worst films I've ever seen in my entire life. I was very tempted to just fast forward through a lot of those scenes. It sucks because this movie, from what I've gathered, it was supposed to be like a tribute. And it wasn't. It was bad. So we start off, and Dan Aykroyd is getting released from prison, and he stands outside and waits for like a day and a half. And I think that's supposed to be funny, but it's not. In the first one, Aykroyd picks up Belushi, and in this one, it's like, oh, setting it up for like Belushi picking up Aykroyd, but of course it's not gonna happen. Why don't? So then he gets picked up by a dancer from his friend's club, has her take him to the orphanage, and that's where we really get just the bulk of what's about to happen. For some reason, he's getting the band back together. And then, again, and then another for some reason, he has to have a kid with him? Question mark? Why is Buster here? Question mark. And then also you find out that Curtis has passed as well, and Curtis had a son, and so he's got a purpose now. Aykroyd is gonna go, and he's gonna go get the son, and then they're gonna start up the band again. Cause why the f not? Why don't we just do exactly what we did in the first, but so much worse? Really the makings of all great sequels. Unfortunately, I feel kind of similarly to the first with this. There's a lot of scenes that are just super unneeded. There's a scene where he doesn't connect with Curtis's son, the commander. He steals his wallet instead to go get the car back. And he gets the car back, and he has a very long conversation with the car dealership guy who says that he's gonna quit tomorrow and move to New Orleans. And that's cool, I'm so happy for the car salesman, but it doesn't need to be there. It's like a really long, drawn out, not funny scene that definitely doesn't need to be there. After he stole the wallet, we could have just assumed he was going to get the car with the money, because that was like his whole intention. The scenes were so long. The songs, which were the most enjoyable parts by far. They were still, like, they were dragging, because they were just so long. They were also exact replicas of the first movie. Slightly different tweaks, but like even the same dance moves, like down to that. And like the same premises, and all of it is like getting the band back together and finding this one person from the band, and then like, oh, I can't because of my wife, or like this whole thing, like it's just like the same premise, just way less work put into it, much poorly done, much more poorly done, poor done. Malfunction. I wrote, okay. John Goodman singing that I'm looking for a fox is pretty good. Okay. John Goodman is a treasure, and I loved him in this film. He tried his best to add a little bit of charisma and was honestly a lovely, if you have to do the replacement game, a lovely replacement. You shouldn't have made it without Belushi in the first place. Okay. Did you guys know that there's an N64 game for this? That came out 2 years after the movie was released? Who is that game for? Who is gonna play that game and enjoy it? Who? Oh my God. I'm actually mad right now. They have all these gigs, and there's no reason for them to be doing these gigs. There was in the first one, there's not in this one. And so now they're just like evading the law and death from Russians. Oh, and then there's like a big police chase. You get the puffball bacteria. I was gonna do it. I was gonna put it all on my face and be like, this isn't even funny. But I don't have the fluffy kind of shaving cream. I just have the silky kind of shaving cream. Nothing about this reaction video is good. This is when you know you've hit rock bottom. I wrote, so the band is back together now. At this point, they're back together. They're running from the cops and the Russians, but they're not, like, the goal is just to do a couple gigs, I guess? Like, what else could there possibly be? I checked the time, and there's an hour left. No! So sure, let's go play a bluegrass festival. So sure, let's cause a huge storm and cause Ghost Rider to appear. So sure, let's just crush Tamara's hopes and dreams. So they're at the Battle of the Bands, and the cops are there, the band is there, the Illinois Nazis and the Russians are there. Back when white supremacists and Russians didn't like each other. But then the Illinois Nazis and the Russians are turned into rats somehow. You hear that, Ike? You would love this movie. And like the cops are kind of cool with it. And they all jam together, and the cops aren't cool with it. And then Buster and Elroy and Busted just drive on along out into the sunset. Yeehaw! Sometimes it's fun to not like films for Tamara's never seen. Like, usually I like things, so sometimes it's fun for a movie to be so bad that it's like, I can't wait to just like yell the whole review reaction. But this wasn't that. This was not fun. You will say what the hell at least 10 times. I said more than that. What the f? 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 You'll be torn between genuinely great music and the genuinely awful, well, everything else. The music didn't redeem it at all for me. Like, the music was obviously like really cool. It was great to see some of these amazing people, B.B. King and Eric Clapton, but there's still like an hour and a half of like actual movie outside of the song, so it's just like, it's miserable. Don't jump on the hate train. Remember, it wasn't just Elwood who lost a brother. There are simply no words for when something like that happens. It's a movie about how to move on after such a loss. His musical family, his SNL family, all came to remind him of what family really is. And then the next person said, nah mate, it's a sequel cash-in. Simon, I really enjoy the thought of that. I wanted it to be that, and I understand maybe working on it, hopefully working on it was really nice for all of them to see each other again, to come together after that loss, but it wasn't well executed. And so I don't hate the idea of that, I don't hate the sentiment, but I do hate the product. Copy, paste, repeat. A sequel that manages to misunderstand everything that made the original amazing. Yes, it was a better sentence than this whole 10 minutes of what I just said, but yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm sorry if you like this movie. I hate like just really going in hard against things that people like, but damn, I did not enjoy this at all. But I feel better now. Yelling and making terrible noises at a camera for 10 minutes, so it's good. Good. I feel better. Next week, I am watching the first Muppet film. I've never seen any of the Muppet movies, so I'm watching the 1979 version. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye! I guess I'll go shave my face now. I wasn't due for another week, but I mean, here we go.